作ってみよう。どんなのができるんだろう。Why Japanese people?
What's up, guys? I'm the East Coaster fan, and today I'm here with my top 10 amusement parks of all time. Now, before we begin, during the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be very busy with testing, but after that, I'll make sure to post a lot more, especially during my summer vacation. Other than that, let's get started with the list, shall we? So at our number 10 spot, we got my home park, Adventureland. Now, the best thing I could say about this park is that it's okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a nice park for what it is. It's surrounded by industry. There's not that many good rides except for maybe Turbulence and Frisbee. But other than that, it's actually a pretty nice park. It has pretty nice landscaping, especially during the last couple of years. And it's pretty old too. It actually was created 55 years ago as of this recording. So Adventureland, I think it's a pretty solid park. At the number 9 spot, we got Luna Park in Coney Island, New York. Another one in New York. Now, the reason I like this a lot better than Adventureland, for obvious reasons, it has better rides. I mean, look at the Coney Island Cyclone. That coaster is extremely famous. But other than that, there's also Thunderbolt, another great ride, Steeplechase, the Wonder Wheel, all these fantastic rides on the boardwalk. Now, this park also has its flaws like Adventureland. It obviously doesn't look that good at all. And some of the rides they have are pretty bad. Mostly because the park is owned by Zamperla. Don't get me wrong, I like some Zamperla rides, but some of their rides are pretty bad. But it's a nice park. I like what they've done with it after Hurricane Sandy, and if they keep treating it the way it is now, I think Coney Island has a good future ahead of itself. Now at the number 8 spot, we have Dorney Park in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Now this was my first Cedar Fair park, so it'll always have a spot in my heart. And this park, all I have to say is it's nice. Nothing too crazy, nothing too little. It's just a nice park to go to. Very picturesque, in my opinion. They have fantastic roller coasters. I'm talking about Steel Force, Talon, Hydra. It's just a great park. They even have Demon Drop from Cedar Point. Right next to it, in the same park, they have Wild Water Kingdom, which you can enter for free. And that is pretty much the best, if not one of the best water parks in the chain. So, that is why I really like Dorney Park. It's not bad, but it's not the best either. I'd say it's pretty good. Now, at the number 7 spot is actually a tricky pick for me. It's actually Kennywood. I went to this park last year. I thought it was great. My number 1 coaster is there, Phantom's Revenge. They have a bunch of other great Woodies too, and let's not forget Skyrocket, Garfield's Nightmare, Noah's Ark, and especially those cheese fries. Now, the reason this doesn't go higher up on the list is kind of like a personal opinion, basically. It was very crowded when I went, and that kind of took away from most of the fun. Even though it is a local park, it gets really crowded. It's kind of like Adventureland in that way. But other than that, I thought it was very nice, especially on the mountain. They used the terrain for their advantage. And it's just an overall great park. It's probably one of the best Pennsylvania parks. Now, another debatable decision on my part was this pick at number 6, Magic Kingdom. I know a lot of people that this is their favorite park. Now, by no means I'm saying is this park bad. It obviously made the top 10. And they have fantastic rides. Space Mountain, let's not forget. There's also Splash Mountain, Big Thunder, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which was my 50th roller coaster. and a bunch of other dark rides. Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, It's a Small World. But here's my problem. It gets way too crowded. I'm talking when we left the Magic Kingdom, we had to wait at least half an hour to an hour to get on the monorail back home. Now, it could have been that we were just having a busy day there, but this has happened more than once. Now, I know I can't really control this because it is a Disney park, but in my opinion, I think the crowds kind of ruined the experience for me. But other than that, amazing park. I love how it looks. The castle's iconic. Everything's iconic about the park. Now, at number 5 spot, another park in Florida is SeaWorld Orlando. Now, I went to this park for my second time, but the first time I went was when I was like 5 years old. So I really got to experience this park for the first time, since I didn't really remember a lot of it. I went on everything except for Journey to Atlantis, but without even going on that, I thought all the rides at this park were brilliant. Kraken I liked, Mako I really liked, and then I loved Manta. That ride is amazing. The shows are awesome too. They got an amazing sea lion show, and I got to see Blue Horizons before it closed, and I got to see the whale show before it's going to be closing. This park also has fantastic seafood, but some things about this park, in my opinion, are just dated. I mean, let's look at the right half of the park for a second. We got Shamu's Happy Harbor, which I heard is going to be transforming into a Sesame Street area, which I'm pretty happy about. Wild Arctic is a really dated simulator based off of Star Tours. And then just other things in that area are just kind of dated. The other thing is that this park doesn't really have a lot of shading to it, which can really be bad on a really hot day. And again, a personal opinion, I didn't get to experience Antarctica, which probably would have been one of my favorite rides, but it was closed. So that really stunk. But other than that, I really love SeaWorld Orlando, and I'd love to make a visit back, especially for Infinity Falls. Now at my number 4 spot, yet again, another Florida park. It's Epcot. Now, there are many reasons why I love Epcot, much more than Magic Kingdom. Mostly is the history. Secondly, I love the rides. I'm talking Test Track, Soarin', definitely some e-ticket rides at this park. And then the food and landscaping is beautiful. Not to mention it has my favorite nighttime show of all time, Illuminations. Now, what ruins this park? It's kind of similar to Magic Kingdom in the sense where it gets crowded a lot, but I didn't really find the crowds to be that bad at Epcot compared to Magic Kingdom. Other than that, really, I thought it was a really great park. And that's why I love Epcot. They have fantastic rides, food, landscaping, and an overall great park experience. Alright, now we're getting into the top 3. These are some of the best parks I've ever been to, and some of the best in the world, in my opinion. Number 3 is Six Flags Great Adventure. Now let's talk about this for a second. Six Flags Great Adventure probably has some of the best coasters on the planet. I'm talking Kingda Ka, Nitro, Bizarro, and a bunch of other rides. They also have a freaking zoo on property, which is gigantic. I got to experience that for the first time spring break, and I loved it. El Toro is just a standalone reason to come to this park. Now, this park suffers the crowd problem. Again, I'm not saying crowds are bad, but it's the crowd control that is a problem. It gets so crowded at this park sometimes that it literally takes 45 minutes just to get into the park. It's that crowded. And the lines are usually so long that you're forced to get a flash pass. Now, I tried to not get any type of flash pass or quick queue any park, but sometimes at Six Flags Great Adventure we're forced to do that, which really ruins the fun. But other than that, I think this is a great park. They have a great lineup, and if they just fix crowd control and maybe the landscaping, it would be a lot higher on the list. Coming in at the number 2 spot is Hershey Park. Now, I think I've been to this park at least 5 times, and every time I've been here, I've had the same reaction. I love this place. In my opinion, this is like a better Disney, I think. You get like the same feel of Disney, like a classic amusement feel, but this park, in my opinion, is just so much better. You got a much better coaster collection, even better in my opinion than Great Adventure. You got Sky Rush, Storm Runner, Fahrenheit, Lightning Racer, Great Bear, and just the history of the park and where it's located is just very interesting. Now, a couple downsides. This park is definitely landlocked, but I heard they're going to be rerouting the road on the right, so that might help. And why the heck is the entrance on the right side of the park? It should definitely be where their arcade is, kind of like near Fahrenheit. That should be where the entrance is. Also, where the boardwalk is located, there's nowhere to expand that area of the park. Other than that, you got a fantastic zoo experience called Zoo America, and you also got Hershey's Chocolate World, which offers a free dark ride, which is pretty cool. And this is why I really love Hershey Park. Now, what could be number 1, you say? My number 1 favorite amusement park, without a doubt, has to be Busch Gardens Williamsburg. In my opinion, this park is perfect. Perfect landscaping, perfect rides. I'm talking Apollo's Chariot, Griffin, Rebolton. They're just so good. You also got the perfect landscaping. You go into each country and it feels like you're actually there, especially Italy. That place is beautiful. And not even looking at the coasters, they have Curse of Dark Castle, in my opinion, a world-class dark ride. Escape from Pompeii, the best shoot-the-chutes I've ever been on. This place is just gorgeous and beautiful. It definitely deserves the golden ticket for that. Not to mention they even have animals in one section. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the animals could be represented a little bit more in the park. After all, it is a bush park. But it's still great that they have the animals in the first place. All of these make Busch Gardens, in my opinion, the best park I've ever been to, and I'm so excited to go back again. Now, those are my top 10 amusement parks of all time. If you liked this video, please make sure to give a like. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.